Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy, the Mad Kiger, and up here today, I'm going to be doing a sort of a follow-up video. You remember a while ago, I can't remember how long ago I did it, I think about a month ago, I did a video called Top Game Series that I have never played, or, you know, sort of where I dropped the ball, major game series, and I got some good feedback on that video. And I thought what I'd do today is, just off the top of my head, I just thought, oh, I'm going to do a video. What can I do? And I'm going to do a sort of follow-up video. Now, I've been playing a bit of everything recently. I've been playing some PS2 stuff here and there, and yesterday I started Saints Row 3 Remastered. I recommend you check out the Mixer video stream that I did last night. Unfortunately, it cut off because there were some issues with Xbox Live, so I missed out on the last hour or so. But go to 1 minute and 29 on the video, 1 hour and 29 minutes on the video. You will not be disappointed. I was laughing my head off. Saints Row is such a fun game to play. I kind of want to play some more tonight, but just because I just have such a great laugh with that game. But anyway, what I thought I'd do today is actually go over some game series. I've just got a bunch of games here for reference. But I want to go through these game series and go, I want to start these game series from the first game. Now, bear in mind, I don't actually have every single game in some of these series, so this isn't going to be as easy as it seems. But it will give me a good sort of sense of direction of what game series I should really be picking up on and playing. And I've just got a bunch of different game series here, and obviously you guys can perhaps give me some comments in the below and tell me where I should start on these ones, which ones I should avoid. But without further ado, let's get into it. First game series I would love to replay is the Metal Gear Solid series. Now, I do actually have all of the Metal Gear Solid games, with the exception of the first one. I thought I did have the first one, and I know there's the GameCube version, which I could actually play if I set up my Wii Cube. I just need to find all the cables for it, so I could play the first game on that. I know it's technically not the original, it's a sort of remake almost, but the Metal Gear Solid series is a game series that I have fond memories of, mostly because my older brother used to love these games and I used to love watching him play the Metal Gear Solid series. But it would be just so awesome to play through the Metal Gear Solid series. Of course, I have the second game here and it just fell out, but I do have a majority of the Metal Gear Solid games. The only one that would be a bit of a pain in the ass to try and play would be the fourth game, because it's on PS3. I do have it, I believe. It would just be a pain in the ass to try and set up my PS3 and stuff like that. I could play it on PlayStation Now, mind you, actually. How well it would work, I don't know. That's what I mean. This is what this video is about, me trying to figure out how I'd actually go through and play these. But it would be great to play the Metal Gear Solid series again. I know the timeline of Metal Gear Solid is a little bit over the top. Which games play first? You know, Metal Gear Solid 3 technically is the first game, and then it goes 2 and then 1. I don't know. But again, give me any information about these series. But I'd love to replay through the Metal Gear Solid games. These are just fantastic story-driven stealth games. They are known for that over-the-top cutscenes, and some Metal Gear Solid 4, that game is like 60-70% cutscenes, but it would just be so great to play through a well respected series. Maybe I'd miss out on Metal Gear Survive because technically it's not Metal Gear Solid, but it would just be awesome to play through such a well-renowned series. Again, how I could do this, I'd have to try and figure out how I'd work it out, but this is definitely on the list. Another series that I am slowly working through is the Dynasty Warriors series. Now, I actually haven't played the first one. I do have the first one though, but I don't really class the first game as a Dynasty Warriors game because it's a one-on-one fighting game, very similar to Soul Calibur or Tekken or something of that era, or more Soul Blade, because Soul Blade was Soul Calibur 1. I have played through Dynasty Warriors 2. haven't done every single character. I played a bunch of Dynasty Warriors games, but it would just be nice to play from Dynasty Warriors 1 all the way through to 9. And I do have a majority of the Dynasty Warriors games. I am missing a couple here and there, mostly. Actually, I think I've got all of the ones on PS2 and all of the ones on Xbox 360. I think the only one I'm missing is 8. So, and I know these games aren't necessarily a must play every single version of the game, because each game only adds a certain amount of things. But I do love the Dynasty Warriors series, and it'd be great to go through and play them all again. Only problem is they do get a bit repetitive quite fast, but I do love the series anyway, so it's not a big issue to me. Yes, another series that is well respected, the Silent Hill series, and I realise I still have the stickers on this. I have watched playthroughs of Silent Hill games. In fact, I've watched playthroughs of a majority of the Silent Hill games, at least the original 3 and perhaps 4. The only thing is, the Silent Hill series is similar to Resident Evil, and actually I should have included Resident Evil on this as well, but I have actually done playthroughs of most of the Resident Evil games, and I know that there's a lot of remakes and stuff now, so perhaps it'd be cool to get like each. I know that every single Resident Evil game, a majority of them you can get now on Xbox One or PS4, whether it's in a collection or remake or remaster. So but the Silent Hill series is often considered to be one of the most scariest and best horror games of all time. Silent Hill 2 is often considered to be the best in the series. He took what was great about the first one and just expanded on that. But this game is it's very similar to Resident Evil. At least the first 3 games are very similar to like the Resident Evil early games with the tank controls and stuff. But what makes the Silent Hill games so great is just the fear and the atmosphere of this series. It'll be a great series to play through, and bear in mind this is a great idea for me to do, because it will give me some sort of direction when I do try and get my streaming and my console streaming and gameplay videos up and running eventually. But I'd love to play through the Silent Hill games. I don't have them all. I am missing a majority of them. I only have 2 and 3, and I think I have one on the Xbox 360. It's either Homecoming or the other one, I forget. But I do need to hunt down the rest of them, and it'll be a great series to play through, because these games are fantastic. Some of them later ones are a little bit mediocre, I hear, but it would be great to play through the Silent Hill series. And I know that the games don't necessarily connect. So again, any information about these series, which ones I should play in order, if I do want to play them in order, is there a particular order, or can I just play them however I want? Another series that I haven't actually put a lot of time into is the Tomb Raider series, or the Lara Croft series. This is just anniversary here. I do have quite a few. I think I've got all of the Tomb Raider games on PS2. And I think I have 1 or 2 on the Xbox 360. But there's so many Tomb Raider games out there nowadays, and what order do you play them in is beyond me. I am missing out on pretty much all of the Tomb Raider games on PlayStation 1. And they're very cheap games, actually. I can buy them on CEX whenever I like. They're only about $5 each. So, but the Tomb Raider series, I've only really played properly the Tomb Raider game that came out on the Xbox 360. I think I played the Definitive Edition on Xbox One. So what version of Tomb Raider should I play? I know that they don't all connect and stuff, but this is another series that I'd love to play, because I do like the Uncharted series, and I know this isn't Uncharted, but it's a similar vein kind of thing, an adventure action game. I know Uncharted's a little bit more based on cinematic experience. This is more exploration and stuff, but it would be great to play through the Tomb Raider series at some point. Another series that I need to get into, and this was on my I kind of dropped the ball list, was the Mass Effect series. I think I do have all the Mass Effect games on Xbox 360, but there is talk about a remake series coming out, a HD remaster. There was the trilogy where you could buy all 3 games in one package on Xbox 360. But there is talk about a HD remaster coming out for the Mass Effect series, and if that's the case, then I'll save up, I'll wait until that comes out. But the Mass Effect series is another series that I need to play through, because I love BioWare games. I was a big fan of Star Wars The Old Republic, you know, the MMORPG version, and I absolutely think that BioWare are some of the best RPG makers. There's so much to do in these games, you know, Dragon Age, and there's so much choice and freedom. And the Mass Effect series is a series that doesn't need any introduction. I know that they slightly went downhill over the years, and some are better than the others, but I only have Mass Effect Andromeda that I can really play whenever I want, because it's on PS4, where the other ones are Xbox 360. I know they are on EA Access, so I could technically play them on the Xbox One if I wanted to, so that's what I mean. This is a good way for me to figure out how I'm going to play these games. But the Mass Effect series is a game that I do want to go into, but these are huge games with so much to do in them, and these would be great for streams. Another series that is often come up in my going back to list is the Assassin's Creed series. I'm going to be completely honest with you. The only Assassin's Creed game I have ever beat was Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and I actually really like that game. And I know that the Assassin's Creed series now doesn't really connect. They've actually gone away from this whole futuristic setting. I know it's still there, and to be honest, I don't care about that. I just love going to these old places and going crazy. But Assassin's Creed Origins is what I like to call part of the new Assassin's Creed series, the Assassin's Creed Origins, Odyssey, and upcoming Valhalla, which actually looks really good. And then the original Assassin's Creed series, I like to consider 1, 2, 3, Brotherhood, Revelations, and 4. So it'll be great to go through the Assassin's Creed games again, start with 1. It's just, with some of the Assassin's Creed games, I get to a certain mission and I just can't do it. But it would be great to try it again on stream or something one day. Yes. Another game series that I would love to replay is the Grand Theft Auto series. I've only completed one Grand Theft Auto game twice, and that is GTA 5. I beat it on the Xbox 360, and then I beat it on the PS4. I did try playing it on the Xbox One at some point, but I never beat the campaign. But I've already beat it twice, so it doesn't really matter. But I absolutely love the Grand Theft Auto series, and this is the London mission pack that I've just got here. But it would be so great to play through all of the Grand Theft Auto series from 1 all the way to 5. Maybe I'd miss out on 5 because I've already done it, but I wouldn't mind playing through it again. Maybe do a first-person camera only, which I was trying to do when I played it on Xbox One. But I'd love to go through the Grand Theft Auto series, and I actually have pretty much every Grand Theft Auto game, with the exception of the other London mission pack on PS1. And I know these games don't connect in any way. There are some hints and some Easter eggs in some of the Grand Theft Auto games from previous games, but it'd be great to go from Grand Theft Auto 1 on PS1 all the way up to Grand Theft Auto 5 and just see that expansion. Another series that I am excited that is getting a remaster is the Mafia series. I absolutely loved Mafia 3. I don't think it was the best game I ever played, but it was certainly a great game. And we are now getting the Mafia Trilogy. They've just released the Mafia Trilogy bundle. Well, they've just released Mafia 2 Definitive Edition, and Mafia 3 Definitive Edition has got a re-release. So we are now getting a full remake of the original game. I've never played the original, so this is on a playlist, because it would be so great to play through this version. Then in August, when the first game comes out, I don't know if they are going to do a bundle with all 3 games included. I'd imagine they will. But it will be so great to play through the Mafia games and just see how, you know, it'd be great to play through them again, because these are great open world games, and I need to play the original before I play the remake. Another series that I'm going to be honest with you, I am not a big fan of simulator racing games. In fact, I'm not really a big fan of racing games anymore, but I do enjoy them every once in a while. But a series that I'd really like to go back to is the Gran Turismo series, because these games are often considered to be the best when it comes to simulation racing games. In fact, these games were above and beyond. This often comes up in the top 10 PlayStation 1 games of all time. Gran Turismo 2, I think, or 1. And these games, this had amazing graphics for the time, and still going back to it, 600 cars in a PS1 game, that's huge, right? But I remember actually playing quite a bit of Gran Turismo 4 back in the day on the PlayStation 2, and it'd be great to go through some of these games. The only issue I have with these games is that it does take a long time to, you just race, you do up a car, you sell it, and so forth. But it would be really nice to play through some of the Gran Turismo games. If I do them all, I don't know. Another series that I'm kind of on the fence about is the Harry Potter series. I know Harry Potter doesn't have every single movie. I think it's got up until like before Deathly Hallows. In fact, there might be a game for everyone. I don't know. But Harry Potter, the Philosopher's Stone, or Sorcerer's Stone for you guys in America. This game on PS1 often comes up in many people's memories list. I do remember playing it, or my brother playing it. I remember, or we might have had a demo, I don't know. But it would be really fun to go through the Harry Potter games. The only reason I haven't done this yet is because I haven't watched the movies. I've only watched the first Harry Potter movie. I know that's a big thumbs down for me, but I'm probably going to buy the box set at some point anyway and watch through them at some point. What else can you do in this day and age? But it would be really fun to play through the Harry Potter games because some of these games are hidden gems. I remember the one on PlayStation 2, Order of the Phoenix, the one that was 3-player, and me and my friend used to love playing that game co-op, and we just had a great time with it. It was a really fun game, and each Harry Potter game is sometimes different from the last. There are some ones that are like a more of a platforming one, like that one, and then there's ones that are like more like a drop-in, drop-out co-op game, and then there's like cover-based ones. So it's a really cool series with a lot to do in them. Another series that I absolutely loved as a kid is the Duke Nukem series. And I know that Duke Nukem, as of late, is, well, really dropped the ball. In fact, the last game that Duke Nukem was in was Bulletstorm as a playable DLC character. And I don't think I ever actually tried out that DLC, but it would be really cool to play through the Duke Nukem games. There are so many different versions of Duke Nukem. This is the original, I think, the one that was originally on PC. And there's different versions of them. There's third-person shooters, there's Doom-like shooters, there's first-person shooters. Duke Nukem Forever often gets a bad rap, but I actually thought that game was pretty funny. It wasn't great, but it was an okay game for the time. It just had too much going for it because of Duke Nukem. But I'd love to go through the Duke Nukem series and just see what crazy things the Duke goes into. Again, these games aren't amazing, but it would be great to play through some of these. And I am missing a majority of the Duke Nukem series. I think there's 3 or 4 on PlayStation 1. But I'm surprised there was no Duke Nukem games on PS2. I always found that quite weird, I had to put it in here, the Final Fantasy series. I am going to be completely honest with you. I'm not a big fan of turn-based RPGs. I'm really not. I just find that after a while I get a little bit bored. However, that's not entirely true because there have been turn-based RPGs that I've played in the past and actually thoroughly enjoyed. Enchanted Arms is one. But the Final Fantasy series, I had to have at least one Final Fantasy game in my collection on PS1, and the one that I chose when I remember I brought this game in CEX. I think I got it from CEX. And they just had a bunch of ones on PS1, and I thought, which one should I have in the collection if I'm going to have one at the moment? 7, obviously. But again, this is a series that I'd love to go into, but where would I start? Would I start with the original? You can buy the Origins version, which is 1 and 2, but because of how many Final Fantasy games there are, and I know they don't necessarily connect, but I'd like to play through every single Final Fantasy game if I could. It's one of the hardest series to hunt down and get everything for. I thought I had got another one here, but it must have fell off. Where the hell did it go? Ah, there it is. Speaking of Final Fantasy, I had to put the Kingdom Hearts series on here as well, and I do have the Kingdom Hearts the story so far version, which has pretty much every Kingdom Hearts game you need, up to 3. So this is how I'd probably play it, but I would love to play through the Kingdom Hearts games at some point, especially on a stream, because these are the sort of games that, you know, it would be great to have people watching and talking about it and stuff. It's just because of how many versions there are, you don't know where to start. That's why I've got the Kingdom Hearts Story So Far collection, which has like 9 games in here, and it basically is like a remake of all of like the DS games and stuff, so it includes pretty much everything you need to know story wise. So that's the version I'd probably play. And last but not least is a series that I'm actually working on. It's the Star Wars video game series. This is where it becomes a little bit fun, because each Star Wars game is its own thing. There's not really a series of Star Wars game that connects to a previous one. There are series like Battlefront, for example, but I am actually going through and playing all of the Star Wars games that I have on PS2 as of late. I had beat The Force Unleashed not too long ago, and I know that a lot of the Star Wars games aren't amazing, but it would be really great to go through and play as many Star Wars games as I could, just because I'm a big Star Wars fan. I am actually playing through Revenge of the Sith. This game is actually very similar to the Lord of the Rings games. If you ever enjoyed them on PS2, it's a similar style of game, you know, hack and slash, drop in, drop out. Well, I don't really have drop in, drop out co-op, but really fun game. Anyway, there's a bunch of more games out there that I could go into, like the Atelier series, for example, the Gundam games, you know, Resistance. You know, I could go on and on for days, but I just wanted to do a little bit something different here and just talk a little bit about some game series that I'm thinking about doing, maybe when we get the streaming properly set up and things like that. Could be a few months' time, I don't know. Well, maybe I'll get lucky one day, I don't know. But either way, I just wanted to try something a little bit different here today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's something different. I know I said like that 4 times now, different. And that's what I'm all about here. You know, I'm just trying to find ideas that aren't, you know, the same as the previous one. And I do this sometimes. I do a video a couple months ago, and then I'll go, oh, I could actually follow up on this video one way or another. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and of course comment below. Let me know any information about this game series that I've done, and give me perhaps a timeline order, which way you want to play through them, any ones that I want to avoid, which ones I should prioritize, and maybe even give me a list of the game series, or link or something to the game series, so I know which ones I'm missing. I also want to mention Ridge Racer. I couldn't find it. I knew I do have Ridge Racer on PS2 somewhere, but I couldn't find it, so it's probably at the back somewhere. But that's a series that I do want to try out as well. And as always, guys, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already and join the family. And as always, guys, follow me on Mixer, Instagram, and Twitter at the Mad Kiger. If I am streaming, I will be posting it on my Twitter account. We will be continuing on with Saints Row 3. I highly recommend you check out the video. I know that there's some quality problems with it sometimes, but I had a great time with it last night, and Saints Row 3 remastered. I'm going to be honest with you, I really don't see too much of a difference. If I put them side by side, I probably would, but it's just nice to be able to play through a classic game like that. I know I could have technically just played the original version, to be honest, but I don't know. I guess I'm a sucker for buying new games that I've played before in the past, I guess. I don't know. But I'm having a great time with it. It's so funny, and playing it in co-op is amazing. It's just one of the funniest games you'll ever play. I highly recommend you check out that video on my Mixer account at the Mad Kiger, because it was hilarious. If you don't want to watch the whole stream, just go to 1 hour and 29 minutes. A couple of minutes, and you'll see why I was crying of laughter. I couldn't stop laughing. Basically, I landed into the ground, and my character was like that in the ground, stuck in the ground like that, glitched, and it was hilarious. I wish I could have clipped it or something, but as always, guys, have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video, perhaps in the week. So take care and bye bye.